Hey everyone, AquaTwist here. Welcome back to I Spy, the series where I analyze the UI of video games. I wanted to make a unscripted, off-the-cuff video, in time for Mario Kart World's Direct that happened just today. Because I will admit, I don't want to be an echo chamber of like, oh, this game's not worth $80, everyone's saying it's bad. I don't want to be like that, I agree with it to an extent, and I'm still gonna get it, but the biggest thing I wanted to emphasize, I'm not really worried about the content or the gameplay, but the UI design. And Stealth40k on Twitter made a really good point about how it's like every single character slot is for that specific costume. Why? Like, Nintendo is not learning from their bad UX that they had in, Tears of the Kingdom and Echoes of Wisdom especially. For those of you who don't remember, as you get more echoes or more items, in Tears of the Kingdom's case, you had to use your analog stick and go all the way, across this horizontal bar menu. And, this gameplay experience is nearly identical. And you're probably wondering, why does this matter? You have all these cool animated characters. You have these body shots instead of just, the head icons of Mario Kart 8, and that's great. I love a lot of the great decisions they're making. It definitely feels like 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and I feel like that applies to the rest of Mario Kart World as well. But just having the pages means, now I play Mario Kart competitively, not a lot or anything, just a monthly tournament, but it's even then, I can imagine bringing this to a setup, right? And it's hey, someone wants to play Yukata Peach. Uh-oh, it's not available on the first page, thumb through, just going through all these different pages and okay, it's this slot right here. So it's gonna be similar to Smash Ultimate where you have to memorize what specific row and page your ult is on. And for Mario Kart Tour, I understand. Okay, whatever, it's a phone app, you can just scroll through easily, tap, bam. You get your character. But in Mario Kart World, or 10 or whatever, why did they carry this design choice over from a phone game to a home console hybrid game? It just doesn't make any sense. But that's really the main complaint I have. The rest of the game looks amazing. I'm still gonna get it day 1, not trying to be a hypocrite. The game looks fun. I love the modes they showed off. The tracks look amazing. Common Observatory as part of one of the tracks looks amazing, and I love that. But in terms of some of the UI choices, it just doesn't really make any sense. And another thing I wanted to talk about with those choices is the font. Now, I feel like font matters a lot, especially in modern day, it can be hard to see depending on if you're playing in handheld mode for certain games, or if you're looking far away, even if it's on a bigger screen or a monitor or whatever. And I feel like with Mario Kart World's case, they're removing a lot of that cool, iconic Mario font in a way. And let me explain. So when we saw the time trials, you notice that the font used was just a basic standard font. And it's readable. It does look nice. It's not the standard, Go or whatever that font name was from the Mario spin-offs. I made a community post talking about how it's yeah, a lot of that Mario Party modern day minimalism is almost gone. And emphasis on almost because, it's still there in that. And I don't know, I think it's fine, but personally, I do miss that, digital alarm clock style font used in Mario Kart 8 for time trials. Because, it had personality, it felt like you're an actual race, oh crap, I gotta race as fast as I can instead of just, oh, this is how long it's taking me to beat it. It feels more boring. And this also applies for the lap counter and the number of coins you have, which is okay. I mean, it's nice to at least the finish and the placings, the fonts for those are amazing. You know how it's you see a board of wood, right? And you have those little cuts or whatever those are called. It feels like that in the font, and that's very creative, and I haven't really seen that before. The animated gradients featuring a nice pink and blue instead of just the basic gold. I like that. They're taking a lot of nice steps in the right direction. And I'll definitely make a full analysis video when the game comes out, when we see the menu and the title screen, and how everything compares to 8 overall. But I definitely think Nintendo could learn from, Mario Kart 8 in their previous games and try to make something better. What do you think of Mario Kart's UI? Let me know in the comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share this video, and subscribe if you want to see more coverage on Mario Kart World and other Switch 2 games as well. Thank you all for watching, and have a good day.
Objection!